What's going on? What's going on? Happy Friday night to everybody. Welcome to Empire Jeff TV live stream edition. And I got a fun topic tonight. Got a real fun topic tonight. And as we know, USA basketball took that L early as hell this morning. So the basketball world is kind of tripping over that, but that's over and done with. Basketball, as far as training camps and media day, is a little over 3 weeks away. So it's getting there. It's getting there. It's getting there. And it's about to get exciting up in here, man. So it's about to be some fun times over these next couple of weeks. And I took the most of the beginning of the summer off, most of the free agency period, and kind of the dog days. And now I'm gonna start ramping up. I'm gonna start trying to give y'all content more and more, as well as continue showing up to other people's shows and the blessings that they provide. But Empire Jeff TV gonna get it popping. I promise y'all. I promise y'all. Speaking of get it popping, if y'all didn't listen to the last stream on Wednesday night, do yourself a favor, pull that up. It's a little long, I get it, but it's a fire episode. I'm trying to tell you that I was on that thing for about 3.5 hours, and it felt like 30 minutes. Like, it was a real fun conversation. Young Africa was on there. Joe from Lakers Fast Break was on there. Sammy was on there. Big Baby pulled up. Like, we had a lot of people on there, and it was a really fun show. So I don't always drop the link on every single episode, but when I do, so far so good. So I'm like, I'm gonna keep that in mind. So Big Baby, you're too kind, bro. You're too kind. I appreciate you. Thanks for pulling up, and thank you for the continued support. But yeah. Speaking of that last stream, when I was talking to Young Africa, shout out to him. During one of our conversations, I go, when you really think about it, the Lakers kind of got like the poor man's or the Walmart, whatever you want to frame it, version of Myles Turner and Christian Wood. And I just said that like in passing, right? And then I went back later and really thought about it. And I was like, yo, but that shit might be true. That would like true, like legit true. And I was like, that might be. And I was like, okay, let me dive in a little bit. Let me make sure that that Jeffrey isn't a little loco here. You know what I mean? Let me dive into this a little bit. And yo, I think the Lakers have a chance, and I think they may have almost found their Myles Turner without giving up a first round pick, without taking on all that money. They got him for the minimum, essentially. And in a lot of ways, the version of Myles Turner that we got is better, which was crazy to see. But anyways, I understand everything's not in the stats, and I know that. But I also went back and watched a few things. I watched them both play extensively. But I wanted to just double check on a couple of things. But let's see who else is pulling up in here. Kirk, good to see you, man. Appreciate the support. Thank you so much. What it do, chat? What's up, Jeff? Great chat the other day. Keep on keeping on. That's big facts, Kurt. Thank you. The Lakers Fast Break chat was in here heavy early in the last one. Hope to see that again today. And yeah, let's get that chat going up in there. So Kirkland brand Myles Turner. Hey, Kirkland's like the biggest brand in America, right? So I'll take that. So let's let's go back to this. So when I was thinking about it, and I was like, okay, obviously defensively is the first thing that's going to come to mind, right? And we're going to touch on that. But that's the first thing that came to mind for me too, right? So I went ahead and I started looking at their career numbers, and then I looked at their last 3 seasons numbers, and then I looked at last year's numbers, which happened to be Myles Turner's best offensive year as a pro. And it kind of shocked me when I did look at that and realized that Myles Turner had a worse defensive rating last year than Christian Wood. Yeah, by 1 point. It's not crazy, but it's still Christian Wood by 1 point. I understand it's a team sport, and that's per 100 possessions. I get that. But he did. And so I was like, okay. And then I started diving into a bunch of other stuff that we got up here. And I was like, this is crazy. So, Chow Lee, appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I was just like, D Prince, what's up? Thank you for pulling up. Thank you for the support. But so when I did that, I was like, okay, maybe when I threw that out the last stream, maybe I wasn't tripping, right? Maybe there's something to this. So let me pull this up for y'all real quick. I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna give it a minute or so. Hopefully people are still coming in here, and I want to kind of get started with this. But I dug in a little deep on this, and I watched more than a few things on it, and I was just like, Walmart brand makes more sense because he had great value. Facts, Kurt. There you go. Killing it early on in the game in the stream. That's what's up. True, but I'm telling y'all, like, stay with me on this. Like, hear me out on this. Like, I'm not even I'm not doing this for clicks. I'm not doing this for any type of trolling. I'm really trying to analyze this, and I really do value y'all opinion on this. But I think it's a good analyzation to look at, and I think it's a good conversation to have, because I think Christian Wood, people know the name, people know his shooting ability, but I think that's about it. I don't think they really understand the rest of his game. And I get, like, I wasn't trying to make this all about Christian Wood before he signed here, but he's ours now. We got him. So now let's dive in, you know what I mean, and see about what he can actually do and where he was lackluster on other teams, how that might be able to help him shine here with the Lakers. So as we dive into this, the first thing I'm going to pull up here is we're going to look at their basically their career. All right. So when you look at their career numbers, Myles Turner came in the league a year earlier than Christian Wood. So he's gonna have more games, and he was getting more starting opportunities out the gate. So with all that, keep in mind, when we look at the entire career, that's gonna shade obviously more towards Myles Turner. However, when you do look at the career numbers, Christian Wood is averaging almost a point and a half more than him for his career. One foul less. Turnovers about the same. Christian Wood's more steals, more assists, more rebounds. Not as good free throw percentage, but a better three-point percentage. So Myles Turner is shooting about 35% from three for his career, and Christian Wood is shooting about 38%. And their effective field goal percentage, he beats him there too at about 58% to Myles Turner's 54%. Which is interesting. But again, this is when you're looking at their entire career, which ideally Myles Turner should clear him on this. He really should. Now, I believe in this group. I will never doubt the team. We'll evaluate by midseason. Yeah, Depends. I agree with you 100%. Blue Magic, thanks for pulling up. Appreciate the support. Appreciate you. Let me see. Lakers fast break family. That's right. So, okay. So let me get back to this for a second. So when you get into that, like where I expected Myles Turner to clear Christian Wood in some categories, he didn't. And that's for a career, right? Now, obviously, when you get into totalities and not averages, he does clear him because he's got 1 year more and he started more and he got more minutes early on. So he does clear him there. Like he's got about almost 6,600 points for Turner, only about 4,200 for Christian Wood. But again, the 3-point percentage and the rebounds are important to know. They're per 36 for the entire career. Christian Wood is starting to kick ass in some fields here. So 22 points per game to Myles Turner is about 17. So as you go through all of this, where it basically comes down to, and their defensive rating for their career, Christian Wood is a 112, Myles Turner is a 106, which obviously clears Christian Wood in that category. But last year, when Myles Turner had his best offensive season, he didn't have that great of a defensive season. And Christian Wood actually had a better defensive season than him, according to their defensive rating. So if Myles Turner is going to continue to look to improve his offensive game, and Indiana, since they got Halliburton, they kind of clicked. So I think that he's going to be starting to get focused more on his offensive game. And as a result of that, his defensive game may slip a little bit. And whereas I think Christian Wood is going to focus a little bit more on his defense, his offense would be like a luxury for us. But I think if he contributes defensively, I think that's going to help us. Jeff, Devotion, thank you for pulling up. I appreciate the support. Jeff, I'm concerned about Reeves and his defense. Not sure he can handle it in the backcourt with D'Lo. Thoughts? I'm going to touch on that. I definitely think that's a conversation that should be had. I think it's a concern, but I also think there's a way to counter it. And I'm going to touch on that. Devotion, I'm not going to forget about your point. I'm just going to stick to this one for now, but I just wanted to show you appreciation for jumping in and dropping the comment, but I will get back to that. Problem Child, salute to you. I love what you do for tuning in. So appreciate you so much. Thank you. So let's get back to this for a second. Okay, now again, this is career-wise, right? So the defensive rating is what separates him. And I don't think, even though Christian Wood had a better defensive year last year than Myles Turner, I do not in any way, shape, or form think that he's a better defensive player, especially in the block category. Because that's really the area where Turner like kills him, right? Myles Turner is an elite shot blocker. I don't believe Christian Wood will ever be an elite shot blocker, but when he's playing next to AD, I think he can be a much improved shot blocker. Because if guys are not going to be going at AD and they're going to be going to the other side and fearing AD, and if they're double pumping or thinking about their shot before they get it off, or jumping off the wrong foot because they're overthinking, or just shooting from the other side, like if they change their game to get away from AD and float towards Christian Wood, that could give Christian Wood a defensive advantage, and his blocks can go up. So I just thought that was really cool when I started looking into that stuff. So that was the career one, right? That was the career. Now this one that we're looking at here is basically looking at last season's. Okay. This is last season's numbers, right? And that's where I'm saying is Myles Turner. Let me load this here for the total. So Myles Turner had his best offensive year last year, 18 points a game to Christian Wood's 16.6. He started 62 games to Christian Wood's 17 games started. So, but when you get into where it's actually the minutes per game, though, is Myles Turner's had about 4 more minutes than him. So at 4 more minutes, he was a starter and really only about a point and a half more a game than Christian Wood, right? And then when you get in the blocks, he had about little over 1 block more than him. All right. Christian Wood more assists. Christian Wood a little less rebounds last year. Free throw percentage is comparable. Free throw attempts is comparable. Field goal percentage, turnovers better. But Christian Wood still shot better from 3 than him last year. Okay. But where things started to even out was now is the totality of it. The total points. Myles Turner, 1,113. Christian Wood, 1,114. So it's interesting there. They're per 36. Christian Wood, 23 points per game. Myles Turner, 22 points per game. Still clears them in blocks, 2.8 to 1.5. But the total rebounds, Christian Wood takes him there. And like I said, the defensive rating, Turner was 114. Christian Wood was 113. And like I said, Myles Turner had his best offensive career year last year, 121 offensive rating. So that, when you start looking at all that stuff, things gets real interesting real quick. So I was curious what you guys think about that. Deep Purple, thank you for the support. Thank you for pulling up. Is there any truth to the rumor the Lakers would look to swap D'Lo and Wood for heel Turner? I'm going to touch on that too. Deep Purple. So give me a feel. I'm going to get back to that, okay? Tears of Joy, appreciate you. Thank you for the subscribe. Hope I earn your continued support, and I appreciate you. I've seen you in other chats. I've seen you, be very active in the chats. I welcome you to do the same here. Welcome to the community. Appreciate you so much. Dung, you see, Team USA could have used Myles Turner. Shaking my head. I'm still sour about the loss to Germany. Yeah, they could have, but honestly, they could have used Kessler. He was on their bench. They didn't use him. So I don't know what Steve Kerr was doing, but that was that was interesting. And everyone's slaying Austin Reeves because he was being hunted out. That's a whole other topic as well. But Halliburton and Brunson, weren't doing anybody favors with them getting hunted out either. But that's not being too heavily discussed. So there's an agenda for Austin Reeves now. Everyone wants to pick on the undrafted guy that got the bag. There's probably some other reasons to that too, but I'm gonna leave that portion alone. But outside of that, people picking on Austin Reeves right now, it's cool. I don't think it offends him. I think it motivates him. He got his bag. He had a great year last year. He's gonna have an even better year next year. And people are just gonna have to sit back and take it. Just keep hating because he's gonna keep proving these people wrong. I guarantee you that. Through the Wire, thank you for pulling up and showing support. Appreciate you. Thank you for breaking down the game, the real analysis, and not just dumb arguing like other channels. I appreciate you. I know exactly what you're saying, and I promise you, that will never happen here. That'll never happen here. You got to know basketball to talk basketball on here, and arguing, it's only about respectful, mutual respect debates. There will be no arguing and no just wild hot take stuff. Like, you got to be able to talk the game and analyze the game, myself included. I got to hold myself accountable to those standards as well. And that's what this channel, and that's what this show, and that's what this chat, and that's what this is all going to be about. So salute to you Through the Wire. I agree with you 100%. Team USA needs to play with pride, heavy duty. Yeah, I get you. I understand. I do agree with Steve Kerr said that this isn't 1992 anymore, that there's a lot of more talent out there, and we didn't have our A team. But at the end of the day, they were good enough to win. They just didn't. And, there is some, Jaren Jackson Jr. is a little confusing to me, so some of the things that he did, the games he just was non-existent on the boards, your defensive player of the year, and you really were just getting cooked by average NBA players. And so there's a lot of things that went wrong there. And that's why the Olympics aren't for everyone. They're just not. And a lot of people want that group that plays every year for a few handful of summers. So they get that continuity and get all that. That's the first time these guys played together. And, Brandon Ingram was a shell of himself out there. I believe that Brandon Ingram is that guy who just disappears when there's other offensive talent on the team. If he's by himself and he can eat alone, and you give him room to cook and get him his touches and get him his shots, get him in his spots. And the coach says, hey, all you can eat, go get yours. Brandon Ingram can get you 30 to 50 points in any particular game, right? So, however, when Brandon Ingram has to share the rock, when someone else is in his spots where he's comfortable shooting, Brandon Ingram is not the same player. Brandon Ingram needs to learn from this. He needs to grow from this because he's a phenomenal offensive talent, probably the second best scorer on that team behind Ant. And he needs to get comfortable shooting in areas where he's uncomfortable. And he's got to learn that good defenses and good teams are not going to let you get to your spots. And you're going to find other spots, point blank, period. So that's what it is with them. So, but they do need to play with pride. I think Austin Reeves played with pride. I think Anthony Edwards did play with pride. I think guys played with pride. But I think Steve Kerr coached with a little bit of foolishness, if you ask me. But anyways, Deep Prince, Kerr will not use him probably anyways. Dude thought he's still coaching Golden State Warriors. Yeah, no, I hear you on that. But he did use Reeves, and he did talk a lot about Reeves, and he did. But I just I don't know. Like, I don't know what he was doing out there with some of the line. And granted, I didn't watch it, especially live. I didn't watch a lot of these games live because of the timing. I went back and watched later, dove in, watched a lot of shows, watched a lot of breakdowns. I didn't see every minute of this tournament. I can't lie. I'm not going to front like I did. But I saw enough, and I read enough, and I talked to people that did, including some that were there. And I got enough feedback to have a formed opinion for sure. But at the end of the day, I'm proud of Austin Reeves, man. I really am. I really am proud of Austin Reeves, and I'm a little surprised by all the hate, but I'm not really surprised because jealousy is a mother. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of grown ass men jealous of Austin Reeves, and that's just crazy to me. So, Endorphin, Ingram is an A-level all-star. He's a Robin, not a Batman. Yeah, you're right. And if you guys remember back to when the Lakers first got LeBron his first year before AD was there, Ingram was supposed to be the second best player on that team, but he couldn't be. One, he was hardly ever healthy, and two, he just couldn't play with LeBron. So Kuzma ended up being the second best player on that team because Kuzma knows how to play off of stars and he knows how to play his role. PI, if he's not getting his touches in his spots where he's comfortable, he's not the same player. That's just a fact. So I love BI. I really do. Really, really do. I'm a big fan of his, always have been, probably always will be, but I'm going to keep it honest. Ingram needs to learn how to get his in other spots where he's not comfortable in. So which Lakers are the odd men out? I think odd men out will be Cam Reddish and Hayes. That's a good take there, Dung. That's good. Reddish, I don't know how much he's going to play at all because of the potential emergence of Max Christie. Hayes, I think, is a little different scenario. Again, he has bulked up. He's looking to play the 5, like the majority of his time at the 5. So I think he will get minutes at that. He looks to have added at least 10 pounds of muscle, maybe 15. So he clearly was told to get stronger, get bigger. You're going to play the bigger centers. And I look for him to get some minutes in the Dwight to JaVale McGee role. And I'm gonna come back to the topic of the show. I'm just gonna get through you guys' questions because last show was so hectic and so crazy and so fun. I kind of sucked at life when it came to the comments for stretches. So I apologize. I'm gonna do better on this show, promise. Southern Comfort, thank you for pulling up. Appreciate you. Shocked at Triple J's performance. Someone talk to that man. Yeah, I mean, I agree. To be honest with you, and I wish I could give credit to this because this is not my own opinion. And I always try to be careful and mention that when it isn't. I saw it somewhere on Twitter today, and I don't remember who put it, but someone basically said that Triple J's defense was not the same when he wasn't playing alongside Steven Adams. And when I read that, I was like, yo, he's right. Like, that's true. Steven Adams was a tremendous impact on Triple J and allowed Triple J to be more versatile and play more freely. So when he went down, and even when we played them in the playoffs, Triple J is not the same defensive player when he wasn't with Adams. And I thought that was a really good point, a valid point. He's still a great defender, a very good player, but he wasn't the same. And he just was not that great in these Olympics. And yeah, someone does need to talk to him. Hi, Octane. Appreciate you. I just hope Austin Reeves' success doesn't get to his head. Ego can be a killer. You know what? For a lot of cases, like Jordan Poole is a prime example of one. I think even though Jordan Poole was drafted, I believe that Austin Reeves is, I believe he's more mature than that. He was older when he got drafted. He's older now, in his third year, but he's 25 already. He's, paid now. Austin Reeves got paid for being him, and he just got better. And I haven't seen anything that would lead me to believe that his ego is going to lead to any type of problems. He doesn't seem like that type of dude to me. He just seems like a dude who loves to hoop, loves the game, respects the game. And I think he's going to play the right way. I don't see him really having any ego. I don't. I could be wrong, but that's just my read on the situation. The Prince, AR-15 almost saved us all last night. Just fell short. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. That's another part of his game is that Austin has the clutch DNA in him. He really does. And that's something you're born with. You don't just wake up with that one morning like all of a sudden I'm clutch. You're born with that. And he has it. He always has had that. And I think it's going to get better. And I think he's going to, I think his clutch minutes, I was talking about yesterday on around the league with Dan, the Laker fan. Shout out to Dan and everyone on that panel. When we were saying what he was going to average next season, I thought that maybe his points might not go up that much because I think his impact on the stat sheet will. I think his assists will go up, and I think other players will play better off of him because defenses will not pay attention to him. But I figured he'd probably get in like the 15, 16 point range. But I felt like but his clutch minutes and his clutch points and his clutch efficiency, I think is going to be up there with a lot of great players. I really do. Candor, controversial take. Okay, I love these. Lonzo was better than Ingram, but the injuries derailed Lonzo's career. Ooh, Lonzo was better defender and passer and as a winning player. Ooh, Condor, that is a controversial take. Well, I'm going to say this. I like Lonzo. I liked his game. His jump shot was broken his first year, obviously. He's a very good defender, very good team player. BI's offense is much more superior to Lonzo's offense, and his playmaking. I will not just assist, but it just be able to get shots off and things like that. I will take BI there. And there was a point where BI had the potential to be an absolute lockdown defender. If you go back to that game in Boston right after the trade deadline when we didn't get AD and the team was kind of falling apart, and they went out there and Rondo hit that floating buzzer beater to beat Boston, and all those fucking ugly leprechaun chowder head and motherfuckers were all crying and shit. After that game, Kyrie was saying how hard it was to get his shot off on Brandon Ingram, how hard it was to get to his spots, how hard it was to get his shot off on time because the recovery of Ingram and his length. So Ingram has the tools and the skill set there. He just seemed to have lost the desire there, and he seemed to spend a lot of his energy on defense and offense, and that kind of slipped. So that is an interesting take, but I still would take BI over Lonzo, but I do like Lonzo. Prince won't get many minutes, I fear. It's funny. I was talking about that last night too. I was saying that Prince and Jackson Hayes is kind of always kind of left out of these conversations. Lifted and salute to you and thank you for pulling up. Appreciate you. But I think Prince is going to get opportunities. I think everyone on this team, for the most part, is going to get opportunities, especially in back-to-backs. If they limit Braun and AD's minutes, if they're blowing teams out, in-game load management, all of these situations, I could see to where a lot of these guys get chances. Now you got to stay ready and you got to contribute when you're called upon. So we will see. We'll see. We'll see if the lights are too bright for some of these guys when you're wearing the purple and gold, because we've seen that far too often, right? But I do like this team. I do like. I really think the chemistry has a chance to be really strong on this team, and I'm excited to see what they can do. Sky Dweller, appreciate you. Thank you for pulling up. I don't think D'Lo's a Laker come February. That's a good take. That's a reasonable take, and it's a very possible take. And you're right, he might not be, but he might not be a Laker come February, or he may be a Laker for the next 5 Februaries. It's that type of a coin toss to me. If D'Lo, comes in, if he shows up and shows out, and he's getting us 18 a game, hitting those threes, playing clutch minutes, D'Lo can have a long Laker career. If he doesn't, and I will apologize again because I'm going to say this probably every show, he has one of the best contracts in the league when it comes to orchestrating a trade. So D'Lo served his purpose for the entire season the second he signed that deal for us. And if he doesn't work for us, he will be moved for someone or someone's, plural, that will work for us, I promise. Let's see. When JJJ performed bad, they should have turned to Kessler right away. He could have helped a lot. I agree 100%. I know I'm not the only one that feels that way. I don't know what Kerr was doing. Sometimes coaches overthink and try to overcoach, and they screw themselves. And I think Kerr did that for sure. LA Sports Live. Salute, my guy. Appreciate you. Thank you for pulling up. And for those who don't already, but I'm sure you already do, make sure to follow this man's channel. He does great content over there. He's a great creator, great supporter of everyone's channel as well. Follow him on Twitter and on YouTube as well. Appreciate you for showing up. Vincent, thank you for showing up as well. Appreciate you. Thank you. JJJ is never a good rebounder. Yeah, that's true. He's really not for his position. He's a very good defender, but he's not a great rebounder. And that's what I meant by what I was saying when he was playing with Steven Adams. It just people kind of forgot about that, or it just didn't show up a lot. And people just really didn't pay attention too much to it. But he's really not as great of a rebounder as you think, nor is Myles Turner. So that's one thing people really got to stay up on that, because telling you, I'm gonna get back to the topic. I'm just trying to get everyone's questions because they fire it in here. But I really do think that we may have got our version of Myles Turner. I really do believe that at this point. Lakers in 5. What up, DJ? Salute to you, man. Hope you're having a good Friday. Thank you for supporting as always. Appreciate you. And once again, for those, if you don't already, which I'm sure you do, make sure to go over to Lakers in 5, one of the best channels on YouTube and even a better dude. He knows his stuff. And whether you need Laker content, just good live streams, or you need a workout plan, this dude will put it all together for you. Don't worry, he's a beast. Check out my boy over there, Lakers in 5. AR-15 never tries to be a hero. That's the funny part about it. He never tries to be the hero. And sometimes that's how you become the hero. Because when you're not trying to be the hero, you're not thinking about being the hero. And you're not overthinking or stressing about being the hero. And you're not feeling that pressure. You just become the hero because you're natural at it. It's organic. And when he hit that shot against Dallas, it was just organic. When he hit game winners, when he hit shots to put you ahead, like, it's just organic. It's catch the ball, shoot the ball, make the shot. Like, that's what he does, like in the clutch. And he's very capable, and he will continue to do so. We're lucky to have him, for real. Search and Destroy, what's up to the best, one of the best, if not the best, probably the best moderator in the game. Appreciate you, Search. Very good at it. Very good recruiter, too. Shout out to Search. Appreciate you for always pulling up. Let's see. People showing love to Kurt, for real. Okay, let me see here. So Christian Wood and Myles Turner. I know. I'll get back to it. So I talked about it a lot in the beginning. I'm gonna get back to it now. But so Christian, when you do think about it, Christian Wood does a lot of the things that Myles Turner does. Myles Turner's best offensive year last year, and Christian Wood was still right there with him. If Myles Turner's defense continues to slide, and Christian Wood's defense, I think, will improve on this team, that I think the comp is more close than people think. I really, really do. And my thing is, everyone was so ready to give away 2 unprotected first-round picks for Buddy Hield and Myles Turner. And I think just by not doing that, getting Christian Wood, getting him at the minimum, putting him on this team, then I think we got our version of Myles Turner. I really do. And like I said, I went over the stats earlier. I went over the comparables, and they're really not too far apart. Now, the eye test, if you watch some of these games, there's a lot of times you're going to see Christian Wood out on the floor. It's because of those situations, right? So I get it there. I'm talking about on this team. I'm very specific about it. I'm not saying that he has been as good as Myles Turner previously. I'm not saying he's ever going to be better than Myles Turner. So I want to be clear about that. What I'm saying is that the Lakers may have found their version of Myles Turner, especially if his block shots go up. And I don't think I'm crazy with that. I really don't think I'm crazy with that. So do me a favor, because I want to take the pulse of the room. I want to check the temperature on this. So give me a 1 if you think, okay, I might be onto something. And maybe there's a chance for this. Maybe there's a chance for this. And put a 2 in the chat if I've lost my fucking mind. You think I'm crazy and you want to smack me in the face. Just go ahead and do that. Give me that 1 if you think I might be onto something, and give me a 2 if you think I've lost my fucking mind. Because I'm curious to know. Not a bad comparison in some ways. It's really not. It's really, really not. Sorry. Let's see if we can do these shout outs here. Endorphin, yo Jeff, what if Ham starts Wood at the 4? And AD at the 5. No one seems to be talking about that possibility. I don't think it's gonna happen. So I think that's why a lot of people aren't talking about it. And I think Dave McMenamin put it out there pretty much already. I think the Lakers wanted that to be known that he's not going to start. I don't think he's going to start. To be honest with you, if the Lakers promised him a starting spot, he probably would have signed with them weeks ago. But they never did, and he finally came around to it. So I don't think he's going to start off top. There may be games where he does start, especially when AD's out, and there may be games down the road where he starts. But I think he's going to pay his dues, earn his trust, and earn the respect of this team because of his reputation, which I think they're ready to wipe clean and start over and give him his fair chance from jump. But I don't think he starts out the gate. I really don't. I just don't. I'm going to get back to everyone's chat. Let me get down to the bottom here and see what everyone's putting in here. Okay, I'm seeing some ones. Search for the 3. Got it. I'm seeing some ones. Okay, I see a 2. Fucking Cuba, man. Fucking Cuba. Everything is Cuba's fault. That's what I say. Yes. Am I clear? Can y'all hear me? Am I clear? Shout out to Lakers of 5. Shout out to Cuba Sparks over there at Rundown Productions. If you want to go check out his channel as well. All kinds of crazy, ridiculous nonsense over there. Go check it out. He's entertaining. He's fun. Got one of the best voices in the game. Go check out Cuba, man. Cuba a G. Even though it's all Cuba's fault. For real. All right, let's get back over here. Okay. Dung, what are the realistic chances Giannis will eventually be a Laker? I think if he leaves the Bucks, he's going to be going to the Lakers because of Darvin Ham. We might get Portis too. Portis loves to play with Reese. Dung, I think there's a strong. Let me be careful here. I think there is a strong chance that Giannis struggles to choose anyone else but the Lakers when he becomes a free agent. I'm just going to say that. I think there is a strong chance that they're going to be his favorite choice but it's just about, is he going to pull the trigger? And what that team looks like then, what our team looks like then, we will not be trading for him. I want to be clear about that. It will be a signing. And I think we have an excellent chance to get him. This is why I say there's no way in hell we're trading for Trae Young, but I think we have an excellent chance to get him. I don't know if we will, but we have an excellent chance to get him. That is for sure. Imagine how much space AD and Bron will have due to the presence of Wood and Rui alongside him. Facts. Yeah. Rui already was hitting ridiculous threes. Wood can hit threes. Now Rui has trimmed down. He's going to be faster, right? And also Rui's going to help guard those wings, and that's going to really help Bron, which I really am hoping for. Reg Dog, salute to you. Always support and appreciate you, my brother. Thank you for pulling up. Hope you're having a good Friday night. This guy has a radio voice, man. Yeah, Cuba, I do. It's just, I don't sound like this in real life, though. I really don't. This is all fake. This is all made up and like auto-tune and, Lil Wayne saying, this is all fake, bro. This ain't my real voice. I got a high-pitched, squeaky voice. Like, I sound nothing like this, bro. Nothing. Shout out to you, Cuba. Bloodhound, shout out to you. Thank you for pulling up. AD doesn't want to play the 5 unless he has to, and I feel you on that. AD doesn't want to play the bulk of the minutes at the 5, I think is the message there. And I think I'm okay with that. But AD is going to start at the 5 and his ass going to finish at the 5. That's how the games are going to start, and that's how the games are going to end. I think he'll be fine with that as long as they got other dudes throughout the bulk of the game doing the dirty work. And I think we're going to see that. Let's see. Okay, we got through these ones. All right, here we go. Chris, what's up, my guy? Christian, appreciate you, man. Appreciate showing up as always. Well, instead of training for Myles and Buddy, we have Wood, Prince, JHS, and another pick. I think we did all right. No, we did more than all right, bro. We did more than all right. Man, we cleared. That was masterclass shit, bro. In Rob, we trust. Let Rob work. Just trust this man. Trust him. And we still got those bullets in the clip. You know what I mean? If teams want to get crazy, another star or another really, really good role player or another controllable contract or another dude out there wants to, wants to leap, wants to get froggy. The Lakers on the other side of that pond, bro. So we have a real good chance to make some stuff happen. All right. And I think we're gonna. Wood is not a great shot blocker. No, Vincent, I agree with you. 100%. He's not. But I'm telling you, he's not a great shot blocker. There's not a lot of guys in the league that are great shot blockers, but we already have a great shot blocker in AD. Okay. This is a secondary shot blocker. And that's what we got to remember. So he's playing alongside one of the best, if not the best defensive player in the league, in the front court with him. So there's going to be times where he's going to be able to come help side and someone that doesn't see him coming and block a shot. So I absolutely believe his blocks will go up. I really do. And Myles Turner averaged only one more block than him last year. And Myles Turner is an elite shot blocker. So just keep that in mind. That's all I'm saying. What I'm saying is their comps are more similar than people think when it comes to their scoring, when it comes to their rebound, when it comes to their 3-point shooting, when it comes to their free throw percentage, when it comes to those free throw attempts. All of these are, and with less minutes for Christian Wood. So he's proven that he can put up Myles Turner-like numbers with less minutes. I mean, bro, that's incredible. That's a steal. Am I clear? Yeah, that's a little inside thing from Lakers and 5 channel, man. Am I clear is a staple over there. Now that we have Wood, AD's time at the 5 should be minimized. That's very important to consider. Yeah, I do. And I think that's where Jackson Hayes is going to get some of his run. And I think Wood can play the 5 against second units. He's played the 5 a lot over the last 4 or 5 years. So he definitely is going to play the 5, and he can play the 5. People are saying he can't. I don't know where that came from. Wood is going to play the 4 and 5, and I think he can come off the bench for Bron or AD, whichever one goes out first. And I think he will. So that can work. He said, what? Nah, you know what it is, Cuba? You know what it is. High Octane, thank you for pulling up. Appreciate the support. You're the first person that actually said Wood isn't starting. Everyone else is saying Wood is starting as center. I respect your opinion. No, I mean, it's just my opinion. Obviously, I'm not in the locker room. I don't make the Lakers decisions. I'm just looking at potential lineups and advantages and disadvantages, pros and cons, fits. And I think Christian Wood is more valuable to us off the bench. And having a guy off the bench that's can give you 16, 17 points a night off the bench, I think is gold in this league. And I think if you have that, you'd be a fool not to use it, right? And if you can come off the bench with like my starting five for anyone who didn't catch it last night when I was talking about it. My starting five would be D'Lo, Reeves, Vando, Braun, and AD. And the main reason is because I don't want Braun chasing wings for not too long stretches of the game, especially in playoff series. I'm okay with him maybe at the end of a game, but for a possession if he wants the challenge. But I don't want Braun chasing wings the entire game. And when it comes to Vando, I prefer starting a defensive player rather than bringing him off the bench. I'd rather try to lock down teams out the gate. I'd rather make their the best wing guys work to start the game, not let them go off early. I prefer to bring offense off the bench. That's just my philosophy. I coached AAU for 10 years. That was always my philosophy. I won a lot of chips playing that way. And if you got a really very good lockdown defending guy like Vando in a wings league and a wings and point guard dominated league, I think you have to start him and try to stop their main wing from going off early. And then you can bring offense with Rui and Wood off the bench. That's just a preference to me. And I know a lot of people have stated that Wood should start because he's got a name, right? It's his name. People think that you get Christian Wood, you start him. Well, people also didn't think you'd get Christian Wood for the minimum, right? So I think he comes off the bench. And again, it's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I think that's what happens. Condor, thanks for pulling up. Appreciate the support. Do you think we'll miss Troy Brown or Lonnie Walker? I think well, let me think about this. I'll miss their professionalism because they both were. They never gave us any problems. They were never whining or complaining about their minutes. They stayed ready. Troy Brown caught a lot of slack last year, but I think for a guy on a minimum deal, for the type of player he was, I think he had some good games for us. He gave us good efforts. It's not his fault that the roster was not great. But if Troy Brown is your 14th or 15th guy, you probably got a pretty good roster. But if Troy Brown is your 9th or 10th guy, then you probably got some problems. And Lonnie Walker, I'm going to miss his ability to get his own shot off. I'm going to miss his ability to finish at the rim, either with his touch or with his force. And I like Lonnie. I liked before what he did against Golden State. I liked him, but they're just really with Reeves' emergence and then with Gabe and D'Lo and the draft picks, there just wasn't a spot for him. So I wish him well. I really like Lonnie. I really hated to see him have to take another minimum. I really hope he balls out and he gets a good deal next summer. Really hope so. Cuba, you changed name from that production. Yeah, Cuba, when you're on the run, that's why it's Rundown Productions. You know what I'm saying? When you're on the run, you got to change the name, man. It just sounds how it is. This isn't Jeff. This is an AI machine talking. Yeah, hey, facts. That's what it is. This is AI right here. This is definite AI right here. I told you, this is not my voice. I'm not even here, bro. Not even here. Empire triple salute, my guy. Appreciate you. What is that? Hit stick stepper? That's a tongue twister right there. Appreciate you. Thank you for pulling up. Appreciate the support. It's a Friday night. People got stuff to do and you're hearing me. I appreciate that. Months ago. Yeah, Cuba. He changed his name months ago, but Cuba been on the runs for years, man. Cuba on the run to a J. Shout out to J and B. Let's see here. Good to see you on Rundown. Let's see. When your channel when your channel gets big like Dan, don't forget the homies that was with you. No. I mean, first of all, I don't know if I'll ever get as big as Dan. Dan is the GOAT and the legend, and that man puts in more work than anyone. He's incredible. That's a really good friend of mine, and I don't sit here and think that I'm gonna be bigger than Dan. But in the event that my channel approaches anywhere near his numbers, man, if you haven't learned from me by now, I'm a pretty simple, humble guy, man. I could have 200 something followers or 2 million followers. It's going to be the same type of show. It's going to be the same dude on here. I said, I do this because I like to, because I love talking ball. I don't really do it for any other reason. And that's never going to change. I promise you guys that. And I don't forget. Like I said, people, when people are here, from the get-go, people to support, it does get harder to see people in the chat as it grows. I've seen that with other channels, but I definitely won't forget anyone. And again, I don't even know if my channel is even going to reach those heights, to be honest with y'all. Here to go. Hey, big baby, thank you, man. I appreciate you. You always supporting. Appreciate you. Appreciate it. You're always your kind words, man. I appreciate you. And check out Big Baby Sports, man. For y'all that didn't catch it, my man got an interview with the governor of the Los Angeles Lakers, Miss Jeannie Buss herself. So I don't know anyone else has got that. So go check that out. Shout out Big Baby Sports, man. Let's see. Christian, everyone hit the like button for the great one. I appreciate you. You the great one, Christian. But yeah, please hit that like button. Like I said, your boy needs more subscribers. He needs more likes. So please help me out here. We got I'm up to 27 likes right now. 35 people currently in the building. So I want to continue to grow these numbers and continue to get bigger in here and make this platform bigger. Please hit that like button. Tell your friends about me. Subscribe, share the channel, and spend some time watching it. Get your boys' watch hours up. Help me out here. Let's see here. I think Seawood is going to start in the front court with AD. Yeah, that one. No, I mean, I get it. I get why everyone thinks that, wants that, talks on it. Like I said, everyone's got their preference. You know what I mean? Everyone's got their philosophy, their style of play, or and I'm not here to I'm not going to debate that with anyone. It's just my opinion. It's just my take, my preference. I would prefer Christian Wood off the bench. I think he will be off the bench, but if he starts, I'm saying I'm almost second guess. So we'll see what comes of it. Let's see. Do you think the Lakers will extend Jared Vanderbilt? I hope so. He became extension eligible on the 7th. I would love for them to get him in the $13 to $15 million range. I think he's eligible for 4 years, $71 million. I would say I would do anywhere between 4 years, 60 to 64 million. I think would be a great deal, a great contract for he's going to get better. I believe in him long term. I think he's a piece that could really help this team now and moving forward. It's something you don't have to worry about finding later. You have him now. He's young enough. He's proven. I would sign him, and I would sign him now. And I think there's a chance they will. They've got from now until the day before the start of the regular season to sign him. And I would guess, I don't think it would be below 14 because that's mid-level money, and he may want to wait to see if he can get more than that next summer. But if it's the $15-16 million range, if the Lakers come with that offer, I think he would take it. And if it's a full 4 year at that, I think he would take it. And I think the Lakers should offer that. I think I would love for him to be a Laker for the rest of his career. I really would. And I think there's a chance that happens. I don't think Wood will start either. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I just don't think he will. I don't know if I'm just being naive with that, but I don't think he will. Your starting five is super solid. I like it. Yeah, once again, D'Lo, Reeves, Vando, Braun, AD. I want Braun at the 4. Like, I just don't want him chasing wings. I just don't. Like, Braun is playing the 4 mainly. Yeah, Bloodhound. I hope so. And I need our guys' legs to be there at the end of the game. If he's playing the 3 or running the point, it's at 39 years old. I just don't want that. Why are you starting Vando over Rui? Where does Gabe Vincent fit? Yeah, that's a good question. And that's what I said earlier. I prefer to start defense over offense. I don't like bringing defense off the bench. And people could say, well, if a guy gets going, then you bring the defense off the bench and you slow him down. Well, no. When a prime NBA star gets it going, there's not a lot you can do, right? You can try, you can make things difficult, but if he's already seen red and he's hot, you make it harder on someone like on Vanderbilt to come in and try to shut him down when he's hot versus let him covering from jump and trying to frustrate him. And maybe the guy doesn't get to his spot on his first 2 possessions, then maybe he doesn't even try the next few possessions, and you've already won the first quarter as far as that guy goes. So I prefer starting defense, especially an elite defender like that in a wings league, and bringing offense off the bench. I like, if you get an instant offense guy off the bench like a Christian Wood, Rui can score, but also Christian Wood and Rui can play multiple positions. So I like that coming off the bench also. Multiple positions, can score. That's just my philosophy, and that's what I prefer. If Rui ends up starting over Vando, I wouldn't be tripping. I love Rui, but again, this is just my philosophy, my opinion, my style of play, and I just really, really love a defender in there. And someone asked the question, are we worried about Reeves? And I think if we're going to start D'Lo and we're going to start Reeves, I think we absolutely have to start Vando to have Vando and AD be our hold down the defense with that backcourt. It may have some challenges with defense. And Gabe Vincent, I think, is going to be the first guard off the bench. I think Gabe is going to be a very good backup. I think he will finish some games. I think he will help us with some clutch buckets. And that's what I'm saying. I think whoever's got it going and whoever's playing well and whoever is game it is that night, I think we'll see different closing lineups because dudes are just playing well. And I think that's going to happen. We should hire Pau Gasol as an assistant coach to develop further Wood and Hayes, or Rondo to mentor JHS. I'm for Rondo. I would love that. I don't think Pau has any interest in being a coach, in my opinion. I've never heard him talk about it. He's never really mentioned it. I don't see it. I don't see Powell being a coach, but I would love to. Powell could help any organization, obviously. So I don't disagree with the take. I just don't think he has interest in it, to be honest. But Rondo, oh man, I would take Rondo today as an assistant. I've been vocal before of saying when the Lakers were, after they let go of Vogel, that I was like just parading and like politicking for them to get Rondo. I didn't even care if Rondo was the head coach. Like, just get him. Get Rondo as a coach, because I think Rondo can be an absolute star in this league as a head coach or an assistant coach. I believe that, and I would love for it to be on the Lakers, but I think at some point someone will snatch him up. And like I said, keep an eye on Phoenix, because Vogel is there and he's got a long-term deal, and he's going to need some help. So I think Rondo lands somewhere, but he hasn't officially retired yet from playing. So I think he's going to have to do that before teams start considering taking him serious as a coaching candidate. What it do, Miss Angie B, the capologist, Empire TV's own Angie B. How you doing? I hope you're having a good night. Thanks for pulling up. Thanks for the support. As always, I'm gonna put you to work in a bit. We need some numbers up in here. I'm curious if what you think of my take, what you think of the topic of the video. I'm curious to see what you think. I didn't see you here earlier, so you probably missed my pitch. I'm curious to see what you think. And just to be clear, my take is that I think Christian Wood has a chance to be this team's version of Myles Turner. And I think there's a good chance that can happen. I think his blocks will improve. That's really the only area where Turner is clearing him. And I think his blocks will go up. Turner's went down last year. He seems to be more focused on offense now while playing with Halliburton. So I can see Turner's defense slide a little bit, and I can see Wood's defense increase a little bit. And that's my stance. I think Cam Reddish played really well with the Lakers. I think he's going to have a great season, just like Lonnie Walker. I think everyone wants the feel-good story. I think everyone wants to see the Lakers hit another home run on a guy that other people gave up on. I think, everyone thinks that they're still buying the hype from his early years. I don't know if we're going to see that with Cam, big baby. After a certain amount of time, teams give up on you for a reason. And I know he needs a fit, and I know this team could be a good fit for him, but I don't think this is the right team for him as far as him to get a shot. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think the Lakers got him to keep him in the league, rebuild his reputation. I think they did that. This was their one lone favor to clutch. Get him in here, let him be known as a good soldier this year, a good teammate. And next year, maybe a team will give him a chance off the strength of that. And if there's icing on the cake with that, if he comes out, he balls out, he plays well, then hey, then like I said, that's icing on the cake. But I think they did the man a solid, and I would love nothing more for him to have a great year with us. I just don't know how many minutes my man's going to get, to be honest, big baby. Blaine, thank you for pulling up. Appreciate the support. Thank you. Do you think Wood should start at the 5 or no? No, I don't. Like I said, I think Wood should come off the bench at the 4 or the 5, the first big off the bench. And I think that's what will be the case. If he does end up starting, I'm not tripping, but I don't think that's when we'll be at our best, to be honest with you. What do you think is our best shooting lineup? Ooh, let me think on this. Shooting lineup. Top of my head, I'm going to go, and I just off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure I'm going to botch this and miss something. D'Lo, Reeves, Prince, Rui, Wood. Maybe rethink that. D'Lo, Reeves, Prince, Rui, Wood. For 3-point shooting, just shooting. Obviously, we will lack in some defense there. We will lack in other aspects. But if you're asking shooting lineup, that would be it for me. I hope I didn't botch that. So, L-Walk was tough. I wish we could have brought him back. Yeah, he was. He was definitely tough. Wish him well, though. Super wish him well. Never forget Lonnie Walker's game. Yeah, man, we probably lose that game, and we very well may have lost that series if Lonnie does not have that game. So, shout out to Lonnie Walker, man. But also shout out to D'Lo, man. I think that Lonnie Walker performance in that 1/4 quarter overshadowed what D'Lo did throughout that series. I also think without D'Lo, we don't win that series, but absolutely, Lonnie Walker in that game was absolutely huge. Facts. I'm with the Reddish Redemption Tour. Like I said, just don't know if he's going to get the minutes. Sammy, what's good, man? Thank you for pulling up. Appreciate the support as always. Good to see you, my man. Everything's good, man. Everything's good. Happy to be here with y'all Friday night, Empire Jeff TV. You know what the community is. I'm trying to be every Friday here. I'm trying to do this. At least every Friday. It was cool to pull up on Wednesday. It was dope having you on the panel as well. It was dope pulling up on a Wednesday. I can't do that all the time, but minimum of every Friday, as well as the other shows I do on other people's channels. But I'm going to be giving y'all more. I promise. Let's see. Yeah, shout out Angie, everybody. That's what's up. I think he's going to contribute. Yeah, let me see. Let me get through here. Black Mama 72, shout out to you. Thank you for pulling up. Appreciate you as well. It says, hey, Jeff, I think I'm going to do the hockey style line changes. Hey, you know what's funny you say that? Because I did that when I coached. And I like slayed teams with that, especially because like I would come out the gate and I would press heavy and I would press hard and I would like press them like from the inbound, 3/4 court, full court. I would do all kinds of pressure defenses out the gate and I would run them wild. And then a couple minutes in when their starters were completely worn out, I would hit them with a wave of 5 and just throw them right at them again. Now there's fresh legs going up their worn out legs. And by doing that, I would force them to sub early. And I won a lot of games. We go up 15-20 out the gate because I had a team that could shoot, I had a team that could run, and our press was ridiculous. So when we would do that strategy, it was very hard to beat us. If you didn't beat us you had to beat us in the first 5 minutes of the game, or that game was over. And a lot of times we would just be all over those dudes. So I don't know why a lot of teams don't do that a lot, to be honest with you, and especially younger teams. I think it's effective. I understand in the NBA is a whole different ball game, but I'm telling you, especially in kind of like random times, you can do it. It can work. It worked for me for a lot of years. Let's see. Yeah, again, shout out to Big Baby for that interview. That was crazy. Like, who was your favorite role? Oh wait, sorry, Dung. Who was your favorite Laker role player? Has to be a non-all-star role player. We've had a lot of great role players. I really loved, like, man, this is tough because during the Kobe Shaq years, we had great role players. For me, I'm probably gonna go Robert Horry. Fish is right there. Rick Fox was great for us. If I was a little older and I was able to watch him play in his day, I probably would say Michael Cooper. But I'm going off the ones that I watched and saw myself. But if I'm going on overall favorite Laker role player of all time, it's probably Coop. But I'm talking about guys that I set eyes on myself that I watched. I'm gonna go top of my head. Yeah, I'm gonna go Horry. I'm definitely gonna go Horry. Wood gives us size. But yeah, he absolutely gives us size. No doubt about that. But he also gives us versatility, and we need that on our bench. I think Rui will start depending upon if Vando shoots the 3 at a good clip, and Wood will come off the bench. Braun can't play the 3. Facts, Kurt. And I think what it is, look, the Lakers know already if Vando's shot is improved. They know already. They already know if the work with Phil Handy has paid off. They know. So now we get to see what they know, right? Because if they throw him out there, then they're confident that he could hit the shot. And if Vando could hit that corner 3, he's starting because his defense is already elite. That's the only thing really missing from his game is the offense. If he can be a threat offensively, not a guy that's going to hit you 6-7 threes a game, but just a threat to where teams can't just leave him open. The threat of him shooting it, they know already if he's made improvements there. And if they feel that he has, I think there's an excellent chance he starts. At this point, I think it comes down to him or Rui. And I also think, it's a tell sign of seeing Rui slim down. I think they want him to play the 3 more this year. And he may have been, remember when they traded for him last year, he was promised a starting role. Then he resigned. So they may have recommitted to that. And the fact that he's lost the weight, not that he was heavy, but just got leaner to be able to guard wings, leads me to believe that that's where they're leaning. Like I said, when I say Vando, that lineup I gave a starting 5, that's just my preference. What I think the Lakers will do is Rui. I think it's going to be D'Lo, Reeves, Rui, Braun, AD. That's what I think will happen. But if it were me, it would be Vando, especially if he can hit that shot. If Vando could shoot, wow. Yeah, if Vando could shoot, good Lord. Good Lord. Like, that interview with Jeannie Buss was amazing. You should check it out, everybody. Yeah, check it out. Go to Big Baby Sports. Check it out. Jeannie's just a very sweet person. And it's very easy to just watch her talk. And she's very easy to listen to. She's fun. She's relatable. And Big Baby did a great job interviewing her. So it was a double-edged sword there. So go check it out. Definitely. It was a great interview. We need Vandalorian season 2. Yeah, we definitely do. I think we're going to get it, man. I really think we do. Let's see. Our second team coming off the bench will be strong. Think about it. Yeah, I mean, I think we have a chance to have one of the best, if not the best bench in the league, depending who starts. 1 second. I got to drink some water real quick. But I do believe that we have a chance to have the best bench in the league. I really believe that, especially if Wood is on the bench, if Ruby is on the bench, Gabe Vincent on the bench, Torian Prince on the bench. Like, we have a legit Max Christie on the bench. Like, I have a feeling we have the chance to have the best bench in the league. We'll see what happens, but I think we do. Reg Dog, what if we start off 9-2 again? Are you talking about like from 2020, right? That's what I'm saying. I said we started 2-10 last year. I want to start 10-2 next year. I want to reverse that bitch. Like, I want a 10-2 start. Make it happen, basketball gods. Make it happen for Lakers Nation. We need that in our lives. I think Gasol studied medicine in school. He did. I think both his parents were. Am I wrong? Are they doctors? I know they were athletes too, but I think they're doctors. I think his sister may be wrong, but for some reason that's popping up in my head. I thought like his parents and his sister are doctors, I believe. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. That just popped in my head. I'm not really sure why, but I think that's the case. I missed it. I took a late nap. Hey, man, I love me some naps. Don't get me wrong. Speaking of naps, after that 3-hour stream on Wednesday, again, make sure y'all check that out if you didn't already. We had myself, Young Africa, Lakers Fast Break. Chat was heavy. The chat was lit, that one. Joe from Lakers Fast Break was on here. Like I said, Young Africa, Big Baby pulled up, right? Sammy the Man was in here. Laker Girl pulled up. You know what I mean? It was and I'm sorry if I missed anyone. I think that DJ Lakers of 5 pulled up. So we had a great episode. It was really long, but it flowed. Check it out. That was the one on Wednesday night when I was covering. I was going over. I was a day late on the Christian Wood news, but I think I more than made up for it. But speaking of naps, Angie, when that was over, man, I needed a nap and a half. I never did a stream that long. I was done. Like, man, it was a wrap. Bloodhound, I hope Cam Reddish does well for the Lakers. This might be his last stop in the NBA. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, I will tell you this. That's what I'm saying. I think the Lakers did him a solid just by picking him up. I think the Lakers are going to spread a bunch of good news about him this year. I think they're going to big him up as being a good teammate, a good soldier, a good guy to have on the team, good in the locker room. And if that's the narrative, even if he doesn't play, I think he gets a job next year. And I think that's what they mainly did it for. So, and if he just adds anything on top of that, great for, you know what I mean? Skywalker was fun to watch. Facts, definitely was. Derek Fisher was a good role player. Yeah, he was up there. He was right. I came down to Fish and Ori. They both hit huge shots. They were both great. Robert Ori. I would say the reason why I picked him is because for those of y'all who never got a chance to see Ori play in Houston, or even Phoenix, which he wasn't as great, but I'm telling you, like, Robert Ori sacrificed his game for the betterment of the team. He put something bigger than himself ahead of himself, and he sacrificed his own personal legacy from a overall stats perspective and a potential Hall of Fame career to be a Hall of Fame role player, to be a legendary role player. And I think guys like that I appreciate, because those are few and far between. Guys that have the talent to be perennial all-stars, but take a backseat to the stars and sacrifice their personal stats and their personal goals for the team goals. And guys like that have a special place in my heart, and that's why he's my favorite role player. Trevor Ariza. Yeah, Trevor was great. I mean, we didn't have him that long, but he was very good, and he grew up here when he got here. He played for other teams, but he became a really good basketball player when he was here. He helped us win a chip. I do love him, but I'm body of work. I got to go Rob, man. Trevor had great defense. It was an epic ball stealer. Oh, he was, man. That Denver series alone, in Denver and at home. Oh my God, man. I was in a bar in Vegas, and when he stole that inbound pass when they were in Denver, oh my God. Let's just say my wallet was hurting that night. My wallet and my head was hurting that night. I was buying for everyone when he did that shit. Shout out to Trevor Ariza, though. My favorite Laker role player was OG old head Ron Harper. Ron, obviously we got him at the tail end of his career. He was nowhere near what he once was, but he brought tremendous leadership to that team, and he was a really good mentor to Kobe. Shout out to Ron Harper, man, for real. Angie said, Wood is a deeper bag offensively, but Turner is better defensively. Facts. Turner has always had help with other decent defenders on his team, which allowed him to run. Facts. That'll be the case this year for Wood. Facts. That's what I'm saying. So, again, and when I said Angie, which I think you missed from being on earlier, is Christian Wood had a better defensive rating than Myles Turner last year. He did. Christian Christian Wood was 113. Myles Turner was 114 because Myles Turner had his best offensive year of his career, and his defense suffered as a result of that. And I do think that will continue. Since Halliburton got there, he's been focused more on his offense, and I think his defense will slip. He's not as great as a rebounder as people think. Christian Wood is right there with them in rebounding. He's right there with them with three-point shooting. He's right there with them with free throw attempts and free throw shooting. He's the only thing that he really gets cleared on was the blocks. And last year he was only one block behind. So I'm telling you, it's closer than people think. It really is. Ori was greatness. Agree. Yeah, man. Man, if this team had a role player like Robert Ori, whew. Sedale 3 was exciting at the Forum. Yeah, Sedale, man. Sedale, remember that little remember that little pull-up? If he went left, he was pulling up. Like, you just knew. He one dribble to the left, stop, pull up with that little lean back end to the left. Like, I like Sedale, man. For those who don't know who Sedale 3 was, he was the guy that they got to be Magic Johnson's backup when he announced that he had to retire for HIV, and it thrusted Sedale 3 into the starting point guard position. And Sedale 3 was a kind of a journeyman that played on a couple of different teams, had played well, had decent career as a backup, but he came in as a starter and he played really well for that Laker team. And I really liked watching Sedale, really, really did. Shout out to Sedale 3. I don't hear his name often, but I really liked watching Sedale play, man. When I was really young though, but I really, really liked watching him play. And I remember watching him play. I remember his form, that one dribble pull up. Like, I just remember it. My favorite role player for the Lakers was Fish, Ori, Elo, Fox, and Meta. Yeah. Those are all good. I would pretty much often consider Elo the third best player on that team. So I never really considered him a role player. I considered him kind of one of the main guys. But yeah, I guess theoretically you could consider him a role player. Fox, I mentioned him. Meta was great as a role player. Fish. But again, my thing of just and Fox was another guy who sacrificed his game for the betterment of the team, just like Ori did. But I'm telling you, Ori was really good, yo. He was really, really good. And he sacrificed his game for the betterment of the team. Worst player to put on a Lakers jersey. Don't say Westbrook. The worst player to put on a Lakers jersey. Yo. I'm going to have to think on that. We've had some bad guys come through, man. But the worst? You know what? I don't know. Chat, help me out here. That's a good question. I don't think I've ever been stumped on one question before. But the worst guy to ever put on a Lakers uniform. Because the funny thing is, I don't even think it's Westbrook, to be honest with you. Even though you said don't say Westbrook, I don't think it's him. I'm just being honest. I don't think it's him. Damn, I gotta think about this. The worst player. Let me start this comment because that's a good one. Appreciate you, man. Dong. Damn it. I don't get stumped on these questions, and you got me. Good job. Let me see here. My favorite is Fox for punching Christie. Facts. Let's see here. Stay up. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you. Favorite role player, Lamar Odom, 6-man, is a role that he played phenomenally. He never gets the love he truly deserves. Facts. And he probably never made an all-star team because he played alongside Kobe and Powell and Bynum. So yeah, he did. I just maybe you guys got me rethinking it because I never really looked at him as a role player. I felt he was like that third star guy on the team because again, sacrificed his game. He was a really good player. But yeah, I would definitely put him up there now that you guys painted that picture. Fox and Christie caught fade at the court and in the tunnel at Staples preseason game 1, 2002. I remember that shit like it was yesterday. Facts. So that was dope. The whole team back then hustled. Facts. Yeah, that was that team post Magic, pre Kobe and Shaq, pre Van Exel, pre Eddie Jones. It was like everything. It was almost like the beginning of what was next. And Sedale 3 was part of that. Let's see. There you go, Angie. There you go. Dang. There it was. Luol Deng. There it is. And you know what? It might not even have fully been his fault, to be honest with you. Like they were stupid for giving him that money. He wasn't completely trash, but they had buyer's remorse and it kind of punished him. But yeah, that's it. Not the worst guy, but that was the worst signing in team history. Probably outside of for those who watch Winning Time, what's coming up, that cup check one was horrible. Not the GM, not the executive, but the player. But yeah, it's gonna be Deng. That's my answer. But Dung, shout out to you. You still got me. I got stumped there. That's rare. Shout out to you. Worst? Yeah, I think it is, Search, though. Like, I can't think of another one when you're talking about the worst. The guy, all that money that was paid to him, and he literally gave us absolutely nothing. Nothing. Nah, I'm not going to say Smush was the worst. Smush actually won us some games. Y'all remember that Clipper game against the Clippers? I think it was around Christmas time. Smush hit a game winner. Kobe was going like Smush. Smush had moments, and I understand the end kind of flared out, but Smush had some. People smash. Oh, he was playing with Kwame Brown and Smush Parker, but they weren't as terrible as people think. Like they really weren't. Like Smush had some moments for real. Sun Yu, no. Sun never got time to play. He had talent. He was young, but never got time to play. Damian Jones. Yeah, I'm still going dang. I used to love Cedric. Cedric the Chise. You know, Cedric gave himself his own nickname. He called himself the franchise and then nicknamed himself the Chise. And then he scored. I remember he scored 50 points on my birthday the first year they got him. I remember they got Cedric. Became an all-star, scored 50 on my birthday. I was loving it. And then he was loving it too. He was getting all the shots he could take. He was a garbage player. No real plays drawn up for him. Really good finishing with the left hand. Really good below the rim finisher, even though he did win the dunk contest. But the second Magic got there, he couldn't share the shine. He couldn't share the glory. He took off the Havasu, left the Lakers hanging, and God bless him because they traded him, and that got us Robert Horry. So shout out to Cedric Ceballos. That trade helped us win championships. Bazemore is a good one, but we had him twice, and the first time he wasn't terrible. So I'm still going dang. He did. He did so yeah. Robert Sacre, you know what? He wasn't the worst. He was bad. Like, but again, not as I don't know. Like I would still say dang because at least Sacre got on the court and tried to contribute. Smush Parker, DJ Benga, Kwame Brown. Benga, man, I like Benga, man. His energy. Benga was fun, man. Kobe loved Benga, man. Kobe did love Benga. I don't, Kobe at the end, it was, he wasn't crazy about Smush. Like they would get into it. And Kwame shows a lot of love to Kobe. But Benga, Kobe liked Benga, man. He really did. Sacre, that's another vote for Sacre. Okay. Honorable mention, Shannon Brown. I'm assuming you mean role player. You're not talking about worst Laker. You put the fire there, so I'm assuming you mean for a role player. Yeah, Shannon Brown. It's another guy who came over here who was kind of which is what Christian Wood is hoping to be, like a Shannon Brown situation, right? Where a lot of teams gave up on him. Lakers got him, and he really helped contribute to a championship. Worst player to ever wear the Lakers jersey, Adam Morrison. He was not Adam Morrison anymore by the time we got him. He was a bust before we got him. We basically did that trade to get rid of the Vlad contract, so he served his purpose. And he tore his knee against us. Lamar crossed him over. He tore his knee, and his career was pretty much done from there. Then he got traded to us, and we got rid of that horrible Vladimir Radmanovic contract that we signed. So on the strength of that, I'm gonna say he wasn't the worst because he got us off that contract, and he won ring just sitting on the bench getting lit. That's a hard question. It is a hard question, but I think Angie got it with all dang. I really do. I love Shannon Brown. He was so athletic. Yo, remember that dunk that he didn't get? The one, oh my God, like, and that one he got when the whole Laker bench was going ridiculous in that meme of Kobe and all them, like, oh, classic. However, he wet the fucking bed in the dunk contest. That let Shannon dunk, oh man, and he got there and just wrecked it. He did not perform. Sun Yu is a good worst player. Yeah, but again, like Sun wasn't really given opportunities, and he was really young. He wasn't ready. Not sure, Shane, because Jackson didn't like him. He never got minutes, and when he did, he shot okay. Yeah. So, agree. Shannon jumped out the gym. Facts. I love Shannon, man. You know what's funny? During the year, the draft, when Shannon got drafted, I was hoping for the Lakers to get him that year. I was like, I want Shannon Brown, but Cleveland had to pick right before us. They took him, and then we got Jordan Farmar. And okay, cool, we got the local kid, but I really wanted Shannon Brown. But we ended up with him anyways, and he won his chip. So, Jeffrey got his wish in the end. Adam Morrison never got minutes. Jackson never liked them, but the kid could shoot. Yeah, and again, by the time he got here, he was broken. Like his knee was shot. He was done. He was cooked. His career was pretty much done. Yeah, like I said, he was only here we made that trade to get rid of the Morrison contract, and that was pretty much it. Mark Madsen, Travis Knight. Nah, Mark Madsen by far was not the worst, man. Mark Madsen, he was a really good teammate, legendary practice player, man. He made guys work. He worked hard. But and Travis Knight, believe it or not, I'm telling you, his rookie year, he played well. When we got him the second time, yeah, trash. But his rookie year, he played so well that we couldn't even re-sign him. He signed with the Celtics, and then we traded for him again after that. And he wasn't the same player, but Travis Knight had a really good rookie season. Really good rookie season. Never forget Smush stole the ball from Steve Nash in the playoffs. KB at the game winner. Yeah, Smush did that a couple times. I'm telling you, that Clipper game that they when they beat the Clippers that year, he hit the game winner, and Kobe trusted him with the ball. Kobe was looking for a guy to kind of help him out in those situations where he can double and triple. And Smush had a couple really good closing moments that season. He really did. Never forget Steve Blake, that game winner in Houston. Yeah, Steve Blake was solid. Steve Blake was that guy who always killed us when we played him. Then we got him. He wasn't the same player. And then, he missed that shot in OKC in the playoffs, and he started getting, those weirdo Laker fans that make death threats, and they started doing that. That was trash. Actually, no. Sam Bowie was bloodhound. Sam Bowie actually was decent for us. By the time we got Sam Bowie, his knees were shot. He was older. He was a backup center. But Sam Bowie was a really good addition. He helped us on that team that made the playoffs, that beat Seattle, which ended up George Karl getting fired, which is why he hates the Lakers, and made that team legitimate. And true story, in 95, when the Lakers were in Orlando, and Shaq, while passing the Lakers bench, passed by and shout out, was like, y'all for real, keep doing what you're doing next year. And he looked at Sam Boone and he said, keep that seat warm for me. So Shaq already, while on the Magic, wearing a Magic uniform in the Orlando arena against the Laker, was already foreshadowing becoming a Laker. That was a great story. Sam Bowie said that himself. Phil Jackson loved Adam Morrison. Phil Jackson loved that Adam Morrison smoked weed, and Phil was probably his weed man, but he never played the man. Adam Morrison is the correct answer. That is hilarious. So there's, yeah, no. Phil really didn't. I don't remember Phil liking him though. I off the top of my head, I remember he would even like bash him and like clown him in the press. Mad Dog was a crowd favorite. The modern day Kurt Rambis, all hustle. Yeah. I mean, he was a really Mark Madsen is a guy that you want on your team, not a starter, not a top bench guy, not even a guy that plays much, but a guy on your roster. Like I said, very good practice player. He made guys work hard in practice because he took no plays off. Very good teammate, smart teammate. And I think he's a head coach now, right? So shout out to Mark Madsen, man. Can't dance for shit, right? But but he was a good teammate. That Shannon Brown block against the glass, that was the one that the bench went crazy on. It wasn't a dunk, it was a block. That was the one. Shout out. You're right, Don. You're right. Antonio Harvey. I remember him, man. He could fly, but that dude could dunk. I remember. He didn't have much of a game, but that dude could fly. Man, I haven't heard his name in a while. But Antonio Harvey was a good lob threat guy and dunked with power. Did he? Why am I envisioning him in the dunk contest in a Laker uniform? Was he in the dunk contest as a Laker? That just popped in my head right now. I don't know how I remember that that's the case, but for some reason I remember that. Madsen has the best parade dance. Yeah, for real. Steve Blake is up there for one of the best role players. He brought hella toughness. Reminds me so much of Reeves. Yeah, Kobe loved him. Kobe loved Steve Blake. They would battle when they would go against each other, but he loved Kobe. And also a fact, it was that Kobe would lend his helicopter to Blake as well, and Steve Blake would take advantage of Kobe's helicopter rides as well. So, and that's another little fun fact there. Chris Ben with his Butterfingers. Yeah, and it's like 2 fouls in 3 minutes scenarios, right? Remember it got to the point where I don't know if y'all remember this, but as soon as Chris Mim got his first foul, Phil Jackson would pull him out because he wasn't going to let him in there to get the second. So before if you got 2 fouls in the first quarter, you'd get yanked. I remember once Chris Mim got a foul after the jump ball, and it was like 4 seconds into the game, and he pulled him out. He would not let him play past his first foul in the first quarter. That was hilarious. Worst Laker coach, Magic Johnson. Magic was a terrible coach. Terrible coach. But outside of that, I know if you guys are now watching Winning Time, you're going to say that Westhead was a terrible coach, but he wasn't. He got a little into his ego and switched up and became a terrible coach as far as just because he was feeling himself, but he wasn't a terrible coach. As you go down the line, Luke Walton was not a very good coach. But Magic Johnson, although in a small 10-game sample size, was a terrible head coach. I didn't love Byron Scott when he was here, but probably Walton. Del Harris had a very good NBA coaching career. He just popped in my head right now. Had a very good NBA coaching career, but he held back Kobe so much that I think it like his Laker tenure once we got Shaq and Kobe, I think he really fell off. And I think he's not a horrible head coach. He had a great career. He really did. But and he was a good head coach prior to Kobe and Shaq. But I really felt that he really underdelivered once we got Kobe and Shaq. Nah, but Reg, dog, I'm trying to tell you though, Kwame's defense was legit, bro. Like the Lakers' defense was really good. A lot of it was because of Kwame. And if you remember that Sun series where we took them and were really applying all that pressure, they used Kwame a lot in the post, and Phoenix had no answer for him. He would go out there and cause problems for them. He was so I get what you're saying, but I'm telling you right now, like Kwame's defense was really solid, and he was a major contributor in that Phoenix series. He really was. I was thinking Mim as well. He started for some reason. Yeah. Mim was a pretty good player for us. Like he was Butterfingers and he did get quick fouls. But if you look at his stats, he put up numbers. Yup, in 95. Are you referring to Antonio Harvey, Angie? Because I don't know how I remember that. Yo, that's crazy. That was in my brain somewhere, just tucked away. I got wasted shit. Talk about useless information. Jesus. Worst Lakers coach, Del Harris, hands down. Yeah, so there we go. I was thinking of Del in that stretch. Like I said, Del Harris had a very good coaching career, and he was a good head coach prior to Kobe and Shaq. When he got Kobe and Shaq, wasn't the move. Isaiah Ryder wasn't himself when he joined the Lakers. Yeah, that's true. But he got buckets. He had some 20-point games, multiple. He was pretty much a good soldier. He could be a little weird at times, but he played his role that he agreed to come to. Magic, Hamble, Randy Fun. Yeah, Randy wasn't good. Walton, Rudy. Yeah, Rudy, I just because he just wasn't there long. And but they pulled the plug on that so fast. Wow. Magic was terrible. My two are gonna be Magic. Well, Magic is he's only 10 games. So I'm gonna take Magic out of the equation. And because Dell did coach a couple good years, I'm gonna go Walton. I'm gonna go Walton. And I know what you meant by Hamlin. Yeah, Hamlin's a very good assistant coach, but he did not have it in him to be a head coach. We love Kwame because it got us power. There's that too, absolutely with that too. But I'm also trying to tell you, man, like Kwame was a big factor in that Phoenix series. It really was. Isaiah Ryder pissed everyone off. Remember that time? I want to say this was Indiana, where he checked himself out of the game to go use the bathroom, and he came back and he told on live TV, he said, "I had to boo boo." Like he took himself out to go drop a deuce. That was hilarious. And they didn't even tell the bench. And we didn't run like it was an emergency. He like walked over there. That was hilarious. It was in Indiana, national TV game. Glenn Rice was a sniper. Can't forget him. Yeah, he just wasn't Glenn Rice here. He wasn't. That's one right there, man, to be honest with you. Like, he wasn't a good Laker. He complained in the finals. He made issues. His wife was running her mouth in the finals, talking trash. And they ran him out of town essentially because of that. He might be up there with one of the ones that were, I understand he had games where he put up numbers, but he almost cost us a championship, our first championship, Kobe and Shaq, because his ego and pride, and he wasn't a good teammate. Which Laker trade made you sad? For me, it was the Shaq trade. The Shaq trade didn't make me sad because it was inevitable. I knew it had to come. Shaq was was declining. Kobe and Shaq's beef had reached its pinnacle. He wanted the extension. He was publicly calling out the team. It was sad because it was the end of an era. That did make me sad. It did. But as far as that is a good one, the saddest trade. I don't know if there hasn't been a ton of sad trades for that I could think of for the Lakers. So maybe the Shaq one is there. But you know what? I was sad when they traded Fisher, even though it was kind of going to be done, but because it came out of nowhere. When they traded Fisher to Houston for Jordan Hill, that hit because that wasn't expected. I didn't see it coming, and that was sad because that was truly like the end of an era. But maybe you're right. Maybe it is Shaq, even though I wasn't like super sad about it because I knew we had to pick one or the other, and I was picking Kobe at that point too. And Shaq at the time was just being a massive baby. But outside of that, um, I'm probably gonna go the D Fish trade. I don't know if anyone else remembers that one, but I'm gonna go D Fish. Rudy said it was too stressful to coach the Lakers. Yeah, he was honest. He had heart problems, and they kept him on as a consultant for like 7 years or some shit after that. He got all that money, so the Lakers like, you're not going to coach nowhere else. You're gonna sit here and scout, or you're gonna consult, you're gonna do whatever. You're still part of the Lakers. They kept him around for a while. Shaq and Kobe stayed together. Were taking 7 or 8 rings. Maybe, yeah. But if you're talking about scale and dominance, yeah. But I would say if Shaq stayed in shape, they would have won those, and the trade probably might not have ever happened. You know what I mean? Because the beef, a lot of it was over Kobe's frustration with Shaq not putting in the work anymore. And so that's a good conversation. That's a great show topic right there. Ah, there you go. D-Fish trade. Yeah, I think so too. Horace Grant was a hell of a role player and veteran for us. First time around, yes. Second time around, no. He was. We were going through those waves of those power forwards in the three-peat. We had different power forward every year. We had AC Green in 2000, Horace Grant in 2001, and Samaki Walker in 2002. Horace, even though towards the end of his career, he did play well enough for us for sure. Jeff, you think we still win if we keep Eddie Jones? It's a good question, but that Eddie Jones trade just had to happen. They had to free up Kobe. You had to pick one or the other, and it was going to be Kobe. And Kobe and Eddie Jones got along great. They loved each other. There was no beef there, but you had to move one or the other. Like you had to give the full green light to one of them. And at that point, you had to go Kobe. And Eddie Jones just continued to disappear in the playoffs, especially against Portland. Ryder would just punk him every time they played. And Shaq himself, believe it or not, there was beef with Eddie Jones and Shaq. Shaq had given up on Eddie Jones and essentially ran him out of town. So that is one that it's a fact that a lot of people don't know, is that Shaq was the one who really didn't like Eddie Jones. And that's when he got to Miami, when Shaq got to Miami, he had to co-sign that, and he didn't necessarily love the fact that Eddie was there. He never really had trust that he would be able to play well in big moments. Eddie was a dynamic player back then. He was, man. He really, really was. But I remember, I think Eddie, I remember Eddie in the All-Star game. I remember Eddie's, man, his length, man. He had that game in Philadelphia where he dunked on Sean Bradley twice, and they were chanting, Eddie, 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 and he banged on him twice in the same game in his hometown against his hometown team and against Sean Bradley. And I remember that game, man. He did it twice. Power dunks, too. Fully extension, just right in the dude's face. I loved Eddie Jones, man. That was tough. You know what? That's a sad one, too. That is a sad one right there. Eddie Jones trade was sad. Nick Van Exel, man, okay. Now I'm starting to get some here. Now I'm starting to remember some of these. The Nick Van Exel trade was sad as fuck. The Eddie Jones trade was sad as fuck. I started remembering it because now that team pre-Kobe Shaq, I'm talking like they traded these guys to make room for Shaq. I was a big Anthony Peeler fan. I loved AP. I loved Anthony Peeler. They traded him. I was sad. Anthony Peeler was like my favorite Laker at the time. I loved Anthony Peeler. They traded him. They traded Doug Christie, which I wasn't sad about. But yeah, I can't believe that slipped my mind. The Nick Van Exel and Eddie Jones is right up there with the Derek Fisher trade. But I'd probably still take Fish just because of all the championships and the memories. Did you discuss the USA loss? I did. Like I said, I didn't really, because of the times of these games, Angie, like, I'm not going to lie, like, my schedule was nuts, and I didn't get to catch a lot of the games live. So before, I would already kind of know the outcome before I watched. Then I went back and reviewed. So yeah, I discussed a little bit. I questioned the coaching a little bit, the rotation there of not playing Kessler at all, and everyone picking on Austin for them hunting him out, but no one seemed to be saying anything about Halliburton and Brunson. Ingram was essentially a no-show in this tournament. Jaren Jackson just couldn't rebound for shit, couldn't defend for shit, and Kessler sitting on the bench there. So I think the strategy was off more than anything. But shout out to Austin Reeves. I think he had a great tournament. I think he's going to have a great season. Shaq didn't rock with Eddie at all. No, he did not, Reg. He did not. And he was verbal about that. He basically called him weak, essentially, and scared of Portland. He did that. I have an Eddie Jones autograph card. Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Like I said, I loved Eddie, man. I had his jersey. I had his shoes. Remember, he had the shoes. He had the shoes, the Nike ones with a George Gervin in the commercial. He called him. He said he would rise and float. They were like making biscuits in the commercial, using the metaphor for Eddie rising up when he would dunk on people. I had the shoes. I had his jersey. I loved Eddie, man. But Shaq was right though. He did disappear in the big moments. That was a fact. Happiest trade, Vlade for Kobe. Let me get up. Facts. Vlade for Kobe, favorite trade. Second favorite trade was Kwame for Powell. Most of the other Laker legends like that we got, like I said, were drafted, traded before my time. Bron was signed here. But those were Kareem trade is probably the greatest one ever, but I wasn't alive, I wasn't around for that. But yeah, that Vlade, man. God bless the Charlotte Hornets, man. God bless the Charlotte Hornets, man, and what they did. And their former order, George Chin, who approved it, who basically said, like, the kid doesn't want to be here. Let's help him. And there's a lot of fun stories about that. And that's another. Actually, you know what? I've got a couple videos coming up. One where we kind of tell the real story of what happened with the CP3 non-trade. But I think the other one is what really happened and what led to the Kobe trade to LA. And how they orchestrated that, I think, is really cool. And I think a lot of it isn't discussed. I think someone like there's some points on it and there's some assumptions and there are some things that are correct, but there's a much deeper and longer story to that. And I think that's a video. I think I should do a video on that because it's a really cool story. It's a long story too. It's not something that's just something simple as, hey, he wants to go to LA. Like it wasn't that simple. It really wasn't. And he almost did it. So it's like entire history could have been changed there. Yeah, I definitely doing a video on that. John Barry was tough and bad at the same time. Yeah, John Barry and Kobe had great chemistry. When they played, Kobe was really young, but when he was on the court with John Barry and Kobe played very well together. We only didn't have Barry very long, and he was on that fucking Piston team in 2004 that beat us. But John Barry did play very well with Kobe. They had really good chemistry, and I remember when he was there. Vlade was not happy with the trade. No, man, he didn't want to go. Like, when you're a Laker and Vlade grew up here, they were the one that introduced him to the NBA and got him in here. He played with Magic. Like, Vlade loved being a Laker. He didn't want to go. He almost didn't want to report. Like, it was bad. Like, that's part of the story that I was talking about. Like, there were layers to that other people don't know about. Yes, please like and subscribe. 36 likes. Let's try to get these up a little bit, please. Help your boy out. Like and subscribe, please. Jeff, you should do Lakers record prediction. I'd like to see your analysis, then watch Dan's analysis and compare. I'm overzealous, really, bro, to be honest with you. I'm probably a little ambitious. I'm probably a little bit bold what I'm saying, but I think I got the Lakers winning about 55 games this year. Like I don't know why I said fuck it. I'm gonna go big. I think we have a chance to win a lot of games this year. And I think the chemistry is going to be off the chains. I think we're deep. I think we're going to be heading games early. And I think we have a chance to really shock the world this year. Really, really, really do. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think of your record predictions? Who do you think, how many wins do you think the Lakers are going to get this year? I'm curious to see what y'all think. I know 55 is obnoxious. I know. But I've been, I feel comfortable with it. Like I think they're gonna surprise some people. Really do. So let me know what y'all think. How many wins in the chat? Come on, y'all. How many wins in the chat? Curious to see what everyone's got to say here. I mean, go over each game and predict win or loss. Oh man, you really want me to work? Okay. Well, man, that's hard, especially in advance. Injuries, other teams making trades. That's really hard to predict out like over time. I think like I could do that week by week probably, but to do the entire season, there's too many variables and too many things out of the Lakers' control that could affect those predictions. So I can't do the whole season. I might be able to go week by week though. This is the best way to spend Friday night. Love this. Thank you, Jeff. No, thank you guys. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Like I said, I'm really trying to do this on Fridays. Not a lot of people are on right now, so it gets me time to kind of people don't have to pick between channels, and so. And I'm not, I typically don't book shows on Fridays. I don't go on a lot of other people's channels on Fridays, so might as well take advantage of it and do my own, right? Do you think we can have instant chemistry like 2020? Tween 55 sounds good if we click instantly. Stay up. I think we already got the chemistry. I'm telling you. Like, if you look at the way the team is working out, the way everyone seems to be in and living in the gym, and all of them there together. So I think they've been building that chemistry since July. The Lakers have been very strategic in their posts. And if you pay attention to it, they're highlighting each individual player, but they're also like sure that the players are all there at the same time. So I think the chemistry is already building. We're approaching the time where Braun does his little mini camp. That's usually middle September to the third weekish of September. So that's going to come into that, and that's usually when it all kind of comes together for the chemistry. So that's coming. Red Sox says 51. Okay, same ball. So above 50, above 50. That's what's up. 52 to 55. Another one above 50. There you go. 53, but we're healthy because we rested players. Yep, got it. 52 and 30. That's a good one. Okay. Yeah. So people don't think I'm crazy to suggest we'd be 50 or above. So that'll make it work. That'll make it work. So I definitely got him at 55. I got 8. So I'm gonna do some predictions here for awards. I think Anthony Davis is coming for everything this year. I'm not saying he's going to get everything. I'm not saying he's going to win every award. But Anthony Davis is winning Defensive Player of the Year. I got him first team All NBA defense. I got him on an All NBA team, and I got him competing for MVP. I think it's going to be that strong of a year for him. And obviously, if he comes nowhere close to this, I got no problem saying I was wrong. But like I said, I've never seen him, or I've never heard from behind the scenes and back channeling the work that he's putting in this year. He's taking the offseason very serious this offseason, and I really think that's going to translate to the court. I think not only on the court, but I think his leadership skills are going to improve. I think everything about Anthony Davis. I think we're entering Anthony Davis's portion of his career from 30 to 35. I think it's going to be. I think you're going to see a really, really. You're going to be happy with what you see with Anthony Davis. I really do. James minicamp will bring the team together. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's always like third weekish of September or so. AD in shape and healthy, he can be argued the best player. Facts. Well, AD in shape, healthy, and engaged. That's the key part. Engaged will make him one of the best players, if not the best player in the league, because the talent is there. But those are the things he needs to have for sure. Hey, Cuba. I never said 55 next year. I never said that. So people are people, not me. Okay? Come on, Cuba. See, it's all Cuba's fault, bro. Always Cuba's fault. 52 and 20. Okay? Yes, it's time for AD MVP. I'm telling you, he's coming for all kinds of awards. I'm telling you. So let me see here. Sorry, my puppy over here acting a fool as usual. AD has great defense and offense. He's a beast. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I really think he's going to step up his game this year. His defense was the best I can remember ever in my lifetime. The defense he played last year. His offense, I think because his defense was so dominant, he had to sacrifice energy from his offense because his defense was so intense and so great. With other players now in depth, now he can contribute more on the offensive side and make it a prime objective. And I think that will be indicative in his stat line for sure. The West is stacked. There will be several teams close together at the top. Yeah, the West is absolutely stacked. Stupid stacked. The West is deep. It's tough. It's incredible. And like the East is just like a dirty ass Roach Motel bathroom toilet. You know what I mean? You couldn't be more different, these conferences. You just really couldn't. If we had the cap to pay any point guard, who do you think this is the best fit for this team? Point guard. Well, that's tough because we still have Braun. I mean, to be honest, I know it sounds crazy, but I think we got the right style of guards to play with Braun. So if the question is this style of team, obviously the great point guards could play, can play, you know what I mean? And fit in, but with Braun, it just gets tough. It gets really tough to put another point guard in there that can't catch and shoot and do stuff like that. And I don't think you really want to the point guards I would like will probably be big money point guards, and I just don't think that fits with this current team. So actually, to be honest, Gabe Vincent is like a perfect type of point guard to play with Braun. So is D'Lo if they use him right. But outside of that, I'm not gonna try to dodge the question. Let me think about this. You would need a point guard that could shoot, defend, play make, and that's if we had the money. It's tough because like Cade Cunningham, I think could play well with Braun. Brunson needs the ball too much. Man, that's tough. Because of the Braun factor, it makes it tough. But I think it's tough. Like I probably have to keep, like I said, I probably would go like Reeves. I think is a really, he doesn't have the ball handling skills as much, but I think the combination of D'Lo, Reeves, and Gabe. I think Gabe is a really good point guard to play with him. But I'm really trying to come up the top of my head and think of someone that, someone like Mike Conley, probably, but he's older. But someone like Mike Conley, a veteran point guard who can shoot, who's steady, someone like that, who can deal with the pressure. This, I guess, is a pleasure playing with Braun too, but the pressure of playing with Braun, because Mike Conley is a really solid veteran. But again, I like the guys we have. I really do. Jokic. Let me see here. 80 only frustrates fans because we see how amazing he can be when he goes hard. That's facts there, but it's really hard to go hard on offense when you're giving everything you got on defense. It's really tough to do both. 50-something wins will win the West. Yeah. I mean, I if we got 55 wins, we're definitely a top 2 seed, I think. So that's definitely a chance. Eric Kwan, what's up, my guy? Thanks for pulling up. Appreciate the support. So another 50 spot. So everyone's got them at least 50, it looks like. Braun is a great PG. Yeah, agree. It's tough to get a point guard to play with Braun. This man, Braun, a 96 overall on 2K at age 38. Great, this Jeff. Man, yeah. Facts, Cuba. Facts. Braun needs to stop those lazy threes. That's exactly what it is, man. Like those threes he was taking in Denver were just terrible. Like just terrible. And I understand he's the guy, he's the star, and he thinks he should be taking those shots. But if you're going to take those type of shots, then just give it to someone else. If it's a three, that's a smart three, fine. Not the lazy threes. What do you think this era would look like if Jim Buss was still running the show? Obviously, no LeBron, but man, this is a horrible timeline. This is going to sound weird. But my bad. I read the question wrong. For some reason, I thought you meant Jerry Buss, like Dr. Buss. Sorry, my bad. So what do you think this era would look like if Jim? No, they'd never. No, God, no. There's no way he would have been fired eventually. There's no way. He just wasn't into it. He like them. The petty decision of getting D'Antoni just to kind of stick it to Genie. That then right there pretty much ended Kobe's career. Like it was the end of Kobe Bryant. It was the end of the Lakers run. It was the end of Kobe Bryant. It was the end of the Lakers for a long time. And it was because of that stupid petty decision. And you think about it, for those who've been watching Winning Time, it's kind of cool. You saw that episode where Genie traded the brother's girlfriend, who was a tennis player, traded his girlfriend, and he threw a fit about that, and it was a big deal. So that when they did that to Genie, there was some payback there. I'm telling you, that went over a lot of people's heads. Didn't hear a lot of people talking about that. But you think about it, Genie traded his brother's girlfriend. So when his brother was running the team and had a chance to hire his sister's boyfriend, he hired the other guy. Said, fuck you. Craziness, man. Working with family fucking sucks. Kyrie's the best answer if he had the money. Yeah, you know what? That's obviously one that jumps to the top of my head. But I just don't know how much you can trust Kyrie. If you're talking about talent alone, yeah, of course. But at this point, Kyrie, I just don't know if that's a guy you want around on a team that's trying to win. I love Kyrie's skill. I love his ability, but I'm just over him and the Lakers situation. Reeves will be focused on this year. He will develop improved skills because teams will start to focus on him. Well, I mean, they already are. If you look at that game where he had 21 points, or not the game where he had 19 points and he didn't have a lot of field goals made. He gets to the line, he's drawing fouls, he's getting smarter, he's getting tougher. His step back game, his lean on his shot, like he's already getting better. And because teams did start to kind of prepare for him towards the end of last year, the Warriors prepared for him. The Nuggets prepared for him, and he's still cooked. So at some point, his ability to draw contact, finish with contact concentration, and all those things is going to continue to make his arsenal stronger. Y'all got to not play D'Lo in the playoffs, man. You need him as your quarterback there, Cuba. You know, you just trading away quarterbacks for nothing, losing all your quarterbacks. Come on, Cuba, man. Look, D'Lo played great up until the Denver series. So I agree with you from Denver series on, from game 1 of Denver series on. But the playoffs, D'Lo had a solid playoffs, to be real. Jim Buss was horrible. Facts. Please like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Share with your homies. Tell your people about Jeffrey, please. I'm trying to grow this bitch. If Jim and Mitch Kupchak just waited a few days to trade for CP3, we would have gotten them. Well, yes and no. So yes. So there's a layer to that. Yes, that is part of the story for sure. But there's a reason behind that. Soon, coming soon. Let's see here. If the Lakers were ever to put up for sale, who do you think would be in the running to buy? It would be an insane number. If the Lakers ever went up for sale, the Dodgers group would buy them. The Dodgers have been moving in little at a time, and their share in the Lakers continues to grow. Magic is part of that group. So if the Lakers ever sold, I believe it will be to the Los Angeles Dodgers owner group, and they've got deep pockets. They're in the city already. Magic is part of their group. To me, I 100% believe it would be them. Jim Buss and Jeannie was like watching Walmart brand Succession. I haven't seen Succession, but I've heard great things. But you're probably right. And yeah, Jim just never deserved it. His dad wanted him to run basketball and kind of continue his legacy, and his daughter run the business off the basketball side, just the brand. Jim just didn't have it in him. He just didn't. I'll tell you what, though, the younger brothers do. Jesse and Joey, they have it. They have it. And I think they're going to be part of the Laker franchise for a long time. And their scouting department and their overall scouting ability is top notch. So it skipped Jim, but it didn't skip the two younger ones. The NBA vetoed the trade. Well, again, that's part of the story, but not 100% accurate. That's the narrative, that's the news that's put out. But the NBA really didn't veto the trade. It actually wasn't vetoed at all. But again, that's coming soon. Bus family will never sell. Family tradition, I think. No, I hear you. That the question was if. I don't think they will, but who knows? I mean, at some point, as the children age, they may want to cash out. We'll see, or maybe not sell completely, but maybe sell majority ownership and still, maybe keep 49% or something. Still a big chunk of it, still make money, but cash in and let someone else take over the day to day. Maybe, but again, I don't see that in the foreseeable future. But never say never. I've learned that. Jesse and Joey Buss know how to scout. Ryan West was part of that group before he left. Yeah, no, he was. Ryan West of it, but he wasn't the main guy. It was still those two kids. And when Ryan West left, like they haven't really skipped a beat, right? So, but Ryan West was absolutely part of that. But those two Buss boys, man, I'm telling you, they have a chance to lead after Jeannie, so that can extend the portion of how long the Buss family owns the team, right? So, but anyways, thanks for joining me here on the Friday night. Going about an hour and 45 minutes strong here. I appreciate everyone who pulled up on a Friday. Appreciate everyone who checked out Wednesday stream. And if you didn't, please go back and check that, as well as all the other videos on the channel. Make sure to like and subscribe. If you're on Twitter/X, you can find me at EmpireJeff_ on YouTube here at EmpireJeff TV. And as usual, like I said, you can be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. I absolutely appreciate that. Shout out to everyone in the chat. I'm going to start signing moderators soon. My chat isn't crazy yet. I haven't experienced too much trolling yet. I haven't experienced any drama so far. I've been able to handle it. But hopefully, as this grows up, I'll be handing out some wrenches soon. And I'm gonna get more of these shows out here. Thank you, Kurt. Appreciate you. Shout out to chat. But I'm gonna start doing more of these, more lives, more pre-recorded videos that hit you with like little 10-minute content and stuff like that. Also getting my on the go setup going. I may do some pre and post game from the arena, not with credentials or anything, but just trying to do a couple different things. That's something I may add into. So like I said, like, subscribe, tell your friends, share, put it out there. Let's try to build this. Appreciate all you guys. Thank you so much. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. You guys, I don't know if I'll be back this weekend or not, but if I'm not, you guys have a good, safe weekend. Enjoy your football Sunday. And we will definitely talk soon. And in facts, Kurt, he's going to be the first one as soon as I do it, for sure. Search is the king of the moderators out there. He's definitely going to get one. That's already done. So we'll get that handled. But you guys have a good night and rest of your weekend. Again, I appreciate you guys so much. I'm humbled every time you guys pull up and choose to spend your time with me. I'll never lose the respect for that, and I'll never lose the appreciation for that. So thank you guys. Have a good night. Catch you guys on the next one.